the Sunni monarchy. Bahrain's king promised reforms and reconciliation, but tensions remain high, as our Middle East editor Jeremy Bowen has been witnessing.
Bahrain is an old ally of the West. Its rulers, the Al-Khalifas, say they're doing all they can to reform their country. But now even the United States is warning that they're moving too slowly, with Bahrain facing strains so severe that it could fragment. The police took us on patrol to see the violent side of an intractable political battle about the country's future.
They are teenagers, mostly teenagers. They are pushed by some higher leaders. It gets violent.
Demonstrators post videos on YouTube of what they do. The police say they respond using only legitimate force to protect themselves and civilians. But without the police, we went to Mohaza village, where civilians were protesting about what they said were punitive and violent police raids. One of the demonstrators is still waiting to have dozens of shotgun pellets removed from what he says was a police attack around 10 weeks ago.
We want to freedom only freedom, and we're not afraid. We're not afraid. We'll come back and back and back. We'll not stop. We want to freedom.
These people are Shia Muslims, the majority in Bahrain. They're calling for the downfall of the king. Like most of the ruling class, he's a Sunni Muslim. The children reacted fastest when the police moved into Mohaza. In the Shia villages, demonstrations happen daily, even though all of them are banned.
This is about a lot more than a little local difficulty. Bahrain is caught up in the big forces that are at work in the Middle East. The pressure for change, the interests of major powers, and perhaps most of all, religious sectarianism, which is causing unrest and violence right across the region.
Over the water, connected by a 25-kilometer causeway, is Saudi Arabia, Bahrain's big brother. The Saudis sent troops across the causeway last year to help crush the first phase of the uprising. Sunni Saudi Arabia believes that Shia Muslim Iran on the other side of the Gulf is making trouble in Bahrain, which means it's a proxy battlefield in their Cold War. Bahrain's strategic position also means the US bases a fleet here. All that puts the Bahrainis deep inside the Middle East's pressure cooker.
We are doing our best to bridge the gap between the Bahraini society. But also there are other forces and other people who are doing their best in terms of deepen this rift that happened in the society.
Which forces are they?
There are a lot of forces that are national forces, and there are some people who are backing them up outside.
Iran?
And even,
are you saying Iran?
It can be Iran, it can be others. What I'm seeing in the country is a dissemination of sectarianism, dissemination of hatred, and we are doing our best to stop this.
Bahrain is a barometer for the Gulf. If the crisis here cannot be solved by the country's politicians, then Bahrain will export trouble to the region, sharpening Shia-Sunni sectarianism and the dangerous competition between the Saudis and Iran. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News, Bahrain.